Welcome to part 2 of this video on seeing if the Resideo Honeywell Home automatically balancing thermostatic radiator valves work or not. Anyway, as you've just heard, it's part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1 or the original video I did on them 9 months ago, then I will leave a link in the description below. So let's get on with it and get to my house and see if I can actually get these Resideo Honeywell Home automatically balancing thermostatic radiator valves to work and give me a 20-degree difference across the radiators and the whole central heating system. Now, like the last video I did, the radiator here in our dressing room is the last radiator on the circuit. So what I've done is, again, I've got my TPI SP323's Bluetooth thermometers and I've got it connected to my iPad. But I just want to show you this as well. Now the DC711 I've got turned on at the boiler and the boiler's right on the other side of the house and I'm still picking it up over here. So that shows the distance of how far you can go away from the from your DC711, and my iPad is still picking it up. Anyway, so it's now reading one of the probes, so I need to click onto this one here so I can get onto a second, go onto that, click onto that, and it'll now give me 2 readings on here. Now I don't know if I've got these on the flow or the return yet, but we'll see in a minute. But, well, yeah, probably, because if you can look at it, we've got a flow temperature at the moment of 43.9, a return temperature of 25, and we've got 18.6 at the moment. So, not doing too bad. Remember, the flow temperature on this boiler is 55 degrees. And all the TRVs are set to the maximum of 6. We're going to leave this now and let it all get hot so the flow temperature is really hot. I'm going to wait for the boiler to knock off when it gets up to temperature, and then I'm going to go around the system and I'm going to find out what the radiators are doing. So let's get on with it. How to use your TPI DC711 flue gas analyzer when doing your flow and return temperatures. So first of all, connect your K probes to these 2 positions here, and then you can clamp onto your flow and return pipes. So we need to press this button here to turn it on. It will now go through its purge sequence, but when it says F2 there, we can skip. So we can now skip through the purge. We need to use this button now to scroll down to temperature and pressure. Press this button to accept. It'll now come on the screen. It'll show us our flow, return, and our temperature difference. And we can even connect a tube onto this point here, and we can actually take the pressures of the boiler as well. So that's how you use your DC711 on flow and return temperatures. Now what I've done is I've closed the flow and return off going to the unbalanced radiators, so we've only got the balance going on. I've connected the probes onto the flow and return there, and I am using my new DC711 TPI flue gas analyzer, and I've put it onto the flow and return temperatures, and I'm going to leave this connected and we'll see what the readings get as we go along. So that's the setup we've done. Now the setup for this second video is going to be slightly different than the first. So first of all, I'm going to try and get a different temperature across the flow and return of 20 degrees instead of 10 degrees. Because everybody says you're supposed to have 20 degrees on a condensing boiler. So whether that's possible or not on a system what has just been added to is another matter, but that's what we're going to find out. So what I've got to do is change all the radiators again using the app to make sure I've got the right setting on the balancing TRVs. So first thing I need to do is open my app. So click on the app. Now this is a towel radiator, as you can see, so we need to click onto the towel rad. Now we've got a flow temperature of 55 degrees And because we're going to do this 20 degree difference, that means our return temperature will be 35 degrees. The delta P for the pump we'll leave in at 10 because that's a preset. We'll set the height of the radiator. Well, it's kind of different because this is a vertical radiator on the horizontal. So it's a meter long. So we need to click on there, and technically the width or the height is 500, I think. No, 600. So we need to go on to 600, and it's saying now that I need to preset this here to number 1. So I'll need my little key, or you can use a adjustable spanner or a 10mm spanner, and that just slides onto there. And now I need to adjust where the brass little indicator is here. I'll need to turn that to 1. So I'll get that done and we'll move on to the next thing. So you can see we've got the boiler on and it's nearly up to temperature. So let's see what we've got on the screen. So we've got a flow temperature of 49 and we've got a return temperature of 32, and it's giving us a delta T of 16. So the boiler's trying its hardest to get us this 20 degree difference with the balancing valves, which is kind of getting there. So we'll wait till we get up to nearly a flow temperature of 55 and see what happens. Now let's go and check out the rads and see what they're doing. Now the radiator in the dressing room has been preset to setting number 1. We have flow temperature of 45, return of 28, delta T of 17, and I think the boiler is just knocked off again. So I have seen it where it's got 21-22 degree difference when the flow temperature gets up to the 50 degrees. But again, the boiler is knocked off, so it's kind of messing us up. So the Type 11 radiator in the hallway, so single panel, single convector, is also set on preset 1. We've got a flow of 44.1, we've got a return of 28, so 15.6 difference. Now the dining room radiator has been set to number 3 on the preset. So we've got flow temperature of 46, return of 27, and a delta T of 18.2. So again, these valves are trying the hardest to get this 20 degree difference. And you have seen me set up this towel rad, which is again also set at number 1. We've got 49.1 on the flow, 30.3 on the return with an 18.1 difference. And our last radiator on the circuit, which is in our spare bedroom, which is a Type 22 double convector, is also set on number 1. We've got a flow temperature of 44, 45, return of 25, and we've just got a 20 degree difference. That one's working pretty good, but it is only a tiny little radiator. Let's go and check out the DC 711 and see what our flow and return temperatures are back at the boiler. So we've now got a flow temperature of 52 and a return temperature of 29 and a delta T of 23.9. So, like I say, it's trying its hardest, and the boiler's just knocked off now. So you can pretty much say these balancing valves seem to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. So that's my little experiment on seeing if the Resideo Honeywell Home automatic balancing thermostatic radiator valves actually work or not. And I think you can see from the video they actually do. Now I could have spent ages messing around seeing if I could get any other changes out there, see if I could get it to change to 30 degree difference, but what's the point? So you can see they do work. So if you haven't seen the first two videos, remember there is links down in the description below. And also, if you want to purchase any of the TPI products shown in this video, then you can email Kate at this email address here, and she will actually sort you out with the products. Anyway, hopefully you've liked the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!